Someone's just walked past with an umbrella. Hello. I can't tell you how happy I am. It is mid-September and after a very, very long heat wave, today is the first day in about 10 days that it's been under 30 degrees where I live in Kent in the UK, and it's raining. And someone's just walked past with an umbrella, and I never thought I'd see the day again. It's amazing. It actually is beginning to feel properly like autumn. I'm just going to take a slurp of my tea. So you would have seen at the beginning of this video that I started off the month making some apple and blackberry goodies, baked goods, because I'd been foraging for blackberries around the grounds where I work. The blackberries were brilliant this year. There were so many of them. I got a really, really good haul, and I'll probably go back this week to get more actually. And also next door I've got an apple tree, and a lot of apples fall on our side, so when they fall I grab them all up. So I had loads of apples from the tree. My mum bought apples from her friend's tree. I had the blackberries, so I was having a lovely time making an apple and blackberry crumble cake, which was a Jo Wheatley recipe. I don't know if it's available online. I've got it in one of her cookbooks, which you can't get anymore, I don't think. But if it is available anywhere, I will link that in the description box underneath. So I'm really distracted now because people keep walking past with umbrellas, and it's just wonderful. I'm also really hot because even though it is raining and it's a lot cooler, it is still about 23, 24 degrees today. So it is a bit sticky feeling. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'll try and link that recipe underneath. And I was making crumble, and this was all before. This is all when we could still have the oven on, because it was all before I knew what was about to happen. Then the heat wave hit and we didn't go below 30, like I say, for about, I think it was over a week. And yesterday even was still about 28 degrees. And we were like, oh wow, isn't it amazing? It's only 28 degrees. So the house today will have a bit of an opportunity to start cooling down. My mental health has taken a little bit of a battering, not as much as normal, because over the past few years, especially from talking about it, I've managed to develop some ways of coping, and also paying more attention to nature and so on has really helped me, because my mood really plummets in the summer months, whereas a lot of people's moods plummet in the autumn and winter months when it's darker and colder. I'm the opposite, and I find that I'm much happier in the dark and cold, and I get very down, especially in the summer when the days are so long and there's so much light and it's just so hot. I struggle with the heat, and I struggle with the noise and the expectations that summer brings. So I've been doing a lot of things to try and help me with that. I've been walking when it's been not too hot. I've been paying attention to nature. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been using my, no, I've got it open here actually. I'm in the middle of reading something on Haperful. I will talk about this properly in a second. I've been using my Readly subscription to read articles and things, mainly sort of looking forward to autumn, and articles about places to visit in autumn, or recipes to just sort of try and remind myself that it's only just around the corner and that the heat wave was just a temporary thing. So that's really helped. Actually, should I talk about, Let's talk about Readly now, because there's some really good articles I wanted to share with you, and then there was a recipe that I'm going to make for dinner tonight. So I'm just getting comfortable, crossing my legs. There's a recipe that I want to make for dinner tonight, so I'm going to tell you about that. At the moment I'm just reading Happiful. You might recognise the cover from your local shop. You might see it on the shelves. So this is the most recent issue. It's issue 77. Happiful's a magazine devoted to mental health and well-being, and there was a whole article on this about the importance of libraries. Let me just see if I can find it. I always really like the imagery and the photos that Happiful uses. It always feels very diverse, very representative, and the article was about how libraries can provide a space that kind of levels the playing field, to use an actual quote from the article, that levels the playing field of an unlevel society, because it's a place that provides free education, information, support and escapism. And I really enjoyed reading it. I really love a library. I love books, as you know. And yeah, it was a really good article. By the way, I should say as well, this is not, but I'm doing it all in the wrong order. Readly is an app that you can have on your iPad or your phone. I think you can use it on the desktop as well, actually. I think I've used it on my Mac. And it's a subscription service, so you pay a monthly subscription, although I have got a link underneath which will give you 2 months free, which is loads. So please take advantage of that. It's well worth it. It has got every magazine you can think of. It's got even like the supplements that you get with the weekend papers and so on. So I have, and you can save favourites. So I've got things like Sainsbury's magazine because I love their recipes, Happiful, all of my favourite knitting and crochet and sewing magazines. I've got Simply Sewing, Simply Crochet, Simply Knitting, Crochet Now. I've got other foodie magazines like Olive and BBC Good Food. They're really good as well. I've even got the Radio Times on there so I can keep up to date with what's on the telly. And actually I was halfway through an article, which is another thing that really helped. And I know it's silly. If you watch my other channel, which is all about knitting and crochet, you might be aware that every year for the past 8 years, this is the 8th year, I have run a make-along where we knit or crochet socks during the period of time that Strictly Come Dancing is on. And there's a really lovely article in the most recent Radio Times, all about Strictly, and it's sort of interviews with the professionals, and it's just all about it. And it got me really, really excited for the upcoming Strictly, which starts in the next week or two. It might even start, is it this weekend or the week? I'm pretty sure it's the weekend after, but it might be this weekend, I'm not sure. But it was such a good article. I'm only halfway through it, so I'm going to finish reading that later with a cup of tea. And the other really good thing is they have back issues on Readly as well, so you can go right back to, you know, a year, 2 years, depending on the magazine, and look at back issues. So I went right back looking at Yoga magazine, which is another magazine I really like. I do like yoga. I don't do it enough. I've recently started a new class, and I'm really enjoying being back into it. And that's what made me think, oh, I'll have a little look at Yoga, because I remember they did recipes and things. So I went right back to October 2022 and I found an amazing recipe for pumpkin soup, which I think I might do once it cools down a bit more. That might be an October recipe for me. You can also add other profiles. So I've actually got my mum on there, and my 2 girls and my husband, so they can have their own profiles and save their own articles and their own magazines. It's absolutely fantastic that I can do that and sort of share the love of magazines. And of course it means I've got no magazines cluttering up my house, and that's been a big feature of this year, is decluttering. I've been able to get rid of all the back issues and just save patterns from Simply Crochet on here instead, so I've got them when I want to refer to them. It's a much neater way actually to find patterns, because instead of having a magazine with 20 patterns in with the page turned down at the corner on 2 of them, and then having to try and find which one I'm thinking of, I've got them all saved here, and I can literally flick through and look at the pictures and I go, oh, that's the one I'm looking for, and I just save what I want, which is brilliant. As a crafter, that is fantastic. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a recipe. So I was looking through the Sainsbury's magazine for this month, the September 2023 edition. I have to say, Sainsbury's magazine I think is my favourite food magazine, because right at the beginning they always have a whole double page spread of all the recipes. Am I really low down? It's because I'm trying to like sit comfortably but also not feel really hot and sweaty. Is that a bit better? There we go. So they've got a double page spread of all of the recipes they have in that edition, so you can have a really good snapshot of what they've got, whether it's a vegetarian main meal or a poultry or meat based main meal or fish or dessert or sides, and it gives you all the page numbers. It's such a good food magazine, and they have so many recipes online as well. So I've chosen a recipe from the September 2023 issue, and I'm going to make it for dinner tonight, and it's the honey garlic chicken with rice. It just looks so simple, so healthy. It's just what we need, I think, on this sort of very early now autumn day, and it's going to be easy for me to cook after a long day. Right, I'm going to stop yabbering, and I'm going to go and I'm going to go shopping to buy chicken and the other ingredients that I need, but I'm also going to Bluewater because this weekend I'm going away for 3 days to Spain. Just as it cools down here, I go to Spain, where it's just as hot as it was last week. But the difference is there'll be air conditioning and a swimming pool. I'm just going for 3 days with girlfriends. We did it a few years ago, it was wonderful. I've got a suitcase full of books. I just intend to lie and read for 3 days. Oh, and we're also going to do a wine tasting. So I'm sure I'll take you along with me for that, and that'll be in the next vlog, a little trip to Frigliana, which is in Andalusia in Spain. I probably pronounced all those things wrong. I am home from the shops. I thought I'd show you what I bought, but I'm just realising that I'm not very organised. Dan's in the background. Hello, Dan.
Hello.
How's your day going?
It's alright. I'm getting frustrated with things, but
He's working from home today.
all
Good. I'm going to have some lunch because I'm starving. I'm going to show you quickly what I bought whilst I was out. It's not very interesting because I can't remember if I said at the beginning I'm going to Spain for a couple of days with girlfriends. So there was a few bits I needed. I wanted to change up all of my Euros shrapnel. Look, I've got tons of like Euros coins, but no one takes coins. No Bureau de Change takes coins. So I'm just going to have to try and be irritating in shops when I'm in Spain and spend it.
You're British, you will be irritating.
Yes, that's true, I will be irritating. So what else did I get? I don't use makeup removing wipes anymore, but because there's a limit, we're not taking hold luggage, we're only taking cabin bags. So there's a limit on liquids on the plane. So I usually use micellar water. So I'm just going to take some biodegradable wipes instead. The girls do use these occasionally, so I'll put them, the other one can go to one of the girls. So simple biodegradable. I was really annoyed though because this was like £3.75 for two, and then when I went to Superdrug they did their own biodegradable version for £1. So let that be a lesson to me for the next time I need to do that. I wanted to get the Sultan, is it the Sultan? Well, I can't remember which brand it is, but they did a stick sun block, like a factor 50 stick sun cream, but they don't seem to do it anymore. So in the end, I just got the cheapest factor 50 little one that I could find, because of liquids, I need to take a little one. We'll probably buy one between the three of us at the airport. Oh, this is what the sun stick looked like. Yeah, it was Sultan Kids sun stick, but you can't get them anymore.
There's plenty of stuff in it.
Yeah, I'll take that as well then. Oh, there's nothing in it. It's gone. It's empty. Oh no, it's not empty, it's in the lid. It's broken. Maybe that's why they stopped doing it. Maybe they're defective. So sun cream. I got some more of my argan oil Hask stuff. It's my third bottle of this now over the years, and I really like it. I don't use much of it, just a tiny bit, but that's not coming on holiday with me. Stop rustling.
I'm getting my lunch together. I need to rustle.
And then I went to Lush because I wanted to get a shampoo bar. And they had loads of shampoo bars, again because of the liquids thing, but also because I do like a shampoo bar and I've never tried the Lush one. So I went for Jason and the Argonauts.
That's not.
It's really
What's it
lovely.
called?
It's got argan oil in it.
What's argan oil?
It's the same as this. It's good for your hair.
Okay, that doesn't help me. What's argan oil?
I don't know, it's an oil. Oh, here we go. This says made with argan oil for silky smooth finish. It's a type of oil from the argan.
Made by the juices of Jason and his Argonauts.
Yes. Well, this is called Jason and the Argonauts. So it smells very nice. And I got a little tin for it to go in as well. I'll probably use that a couple of times before I go. And then it can go in my tin. Sorry? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you used to work at Lush. What do you know about it?
It's good, it's for your hair. It's the shampoo bar, isn't it? Or is it the conditioner one?
The shampoo one.
Nice.
Lilia used to work at Lush, so she knows these things. It's very nice. And I got the little tin as well.
Oh, go you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh! There's a cat came running down the stairs and nearly fell over. Where were you? In case you're tuning in for the first time, we don't have a cat. That's next door's cat. And they also gave me a leaflet about their thing they're doing about the right to roam for England. So if you were following our Scotland vlogs, we were in Scotland this summer. Oh, it opens out into a big poster. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Right to roam for the English countryside. Anyway, I haven't read it yet, so I don't know much about what they're doing. But in Scotland, there is the right to roam, which means as long as you're not doing any damage or being irresponsible, you can roam anywhere you want in the Scottish countryside. So I'm going to have a little read of that. And that's everything I got. I'm now going to have some lunch. I should say as well, actually, I've just remembered, when I I also had to go and get some foodie bits in Asda. And I was having a look at the magazine section while I was there to see what magazines were catching my eye so that I could then come home and add them to my Readly library instead. So I've just added Woman and Home, which I used to read but sort of went off, but I figured I can add it here just for like, I used to like the recipes. And also on the front cover of this this month's episode, why do I keep saying episode? Issue, it's got Sarah Cox. And I recently, I like Sarah Cox, she's on the radio and she talks a lot about books, and she's I've recently listened to one of her books, which I'll talk about next time. Yeah, and it looks like it's got some really good recipes in it as well. So I've added that, and I also added one I'd not seen before, which is BBC Easy Cook Good Food. So it's like an additional, there's a flapping in the garden, the chickens are doing something weird. Like an additional BBC Good Food one. And it's got a 12-page back to school meal plan, which I thought looked really good as well. So I'm going to have a fun looking through that. Oh, it's also got plum crumble. Oh, looks nice, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to have a little look through that whilst I have my lunch. Cloud, we've had this talk, haven't we? And Peggy, are you indoor creatures or outdoor creatures? Their feet make such a funny noise on the kitchen floor. Let's go and put your vegetables in. Get you back inside. Come on then, girls. Come on. I like the Pied Piper of the Dickens. Come on then. There we go. Oh, Peggy knows I've got something. Peggy knows I've got something. Oh, peas. Got some late summer tomatoes. Not sure if these are going to ripen now. I did pick a few this morning. I'm not sure what colour these are supposed to be. They're a special variety. They don't feel very ready. But, I'm not sure. And I've got some more normal ones here, but again, I'm not sure they're going to ripen now. And then there's a silly cat up here. Hello. Hello. You have a wash. I've got a few very last minute green beans, purple green beans growing, but they're not putting in a lot of effort if I'm honest. Got a few blueberries there. Might have one of those. Yum. Grapes. These are really nice, but they do have seeds. Oh, they're really sweet. I'll have to bring some of those in later. Well, this is a lot more of an awkward angle than I thought it was going to be. Am I out of focus? Focus. There we go. Dan has taken Phoebe to trampoline because that has started again this week. And I am boiling because I spent quite a long time with Lilia going through universities, because she'll be off to university hopefully for her next year, and you have to start the process now. So we were looking at universities that do the courses that she wants to do and booking open days, and that took a little while. So we've done that. Then I've been doing some editing and some cleaning, and now I've just been cleaning the kitchen, and I'm about to make my lunch to take to work tomorrow. I'm now in my pyjamas as well. I've got changed into comfy clothes, but I'm absolutely boiling. It is currently about 23 degrees. It's 5 o'clock, and it does feel really muggy and sticky and not very fresh. Yeah. Don't know where I'm going with this other than just to say that I'm listening to my audiobook, and I am listening to an unexpectedly really enjoyable book. It is called, the only reason that I am listening to it is that it was one of the available ones on the free library app Libby. I just was searching for my next listen and this happened to be available. And it's by Josie Lloyd, who I knew from, she wrote a lot of books in the 90s. And it's called Life Saving for Beginners. And I am really enjoying it. It's quite a nice long book, which I'm really pleased about because I'm enjoying it so much. I'm really enjoying the characters. It's very much about female friendship at sort of my age and older. So sort of very sort of middle age, female friendship, families, menopause. It's all set during 2020 into 2021. So it's all set during the time when we were still kind of in lockdown, but then coming out of lockdown in the UK. It's set in Brighton. And so I wouldn't recommend it if that kind of thing is not the kind of thing you want to revisit. But it's sort of woven into the story really nicely. And I am. I'm enjoying it. I'll speak more in detail about it when I do a bit of a bookish update soon, but I'm going to put my earphones back in and get myself making my sandwich for tomorrow and start doing some prep for that garlic and honey chicken. there's enough left, all a bit of a mess, for Dan's lunch for tomorrow. Success.
Very successful.
It was really nice.
Super yummy.
And I'm just, I'm using the pan that I used because I had some bruschetta a couple of nights ago, and there was some bruschetta stuff left, the tomatoey garlicky thing I made with basil. But we're not going to eat it, so I thought I'll cook it in the pan whilst it's still warm. I'm going to add the leftover chilli as well. It's mild chilli. I'll get those bits in a minute. And I'm just going to make a simple pasta sauce that we can use another time. Nom. The light is going to be terrible. I have retreated to bed. I'm talking to the camera.
I thought you were talking to me.
No. I've also I've got 3 lumps of my chocolate left that I'm eating. I've got some knitting. I've got my book, which I'll probably read in a bit. I'll just pop that there. I've got my earphones. And I've got my my laptop. And I'm going to watch, I think I'm going to watch some kind of knitting podcast, see who's got a new one up that I haven't caught up with. And I'm going to finish my hat. And I'm going to stay here now. It's 9 o'clock. And I'm just done with today. Phoebe's not feeling terribly well, so she's doing pretty much the same thing, but without the chocolate and the knitting. Just there in her room. She's lying down on her bed, so I keep going through to check on her as well. So I don't really know what this vlog's going to end up being, other than just a little meander through my day and making some nice food, and jabbering on about how it's been hot and now it's not so hot. It's still quite warm. It's 23.5 degrees in here at the moment, and it has felt sticky today. I definitely said this already, but it's a huge improvement on the last week, and I do feel so much happier. I've lit some candles downstairs, so it's all feeling quite autumnal and nice, and it was dark. I think it was pretty much dark by 7:30, so the nights are really drawing in. The earth is definitely shifting, which is a nice feeling. I like the changes of the seasons. Yeah, so, my book, by the way. It's a lovely gift, and look, I've got the card that was sent with it here, as my bookmark. And it's the first in the Flavia de Luce series of books, and I'm really enjoying it. I think my sister will really like this as well, so I'm going to pass this on to her to read afterwards. But again, I'll talk more in detail about what I've been reading and listening to in the next vlog or the one after. I'm going to shut up because I feel like I'm repeating myself. So I hope you've enjoyed this little day at home, really, and I will see you in the next vlog. And prepare yourselves for more of this nonsense, because Vlogtober is coming. Vlogtober is coming.